Hello folks, I hope you're having a good day. We're going to take a look at the Dragoon 390 on the Narrows map in Armored Warfare. The early access 5 event that has been going on for the last few weeks is finally drawn to a close, and I have a feeling that open beta will be upon us relatively quickly. But I did capture a few interesting matches during the closing weekend. Everyone and their brother was playing the tier 8 tanks that they unlocked for people to play with, and I messed with one or two of those that I was interested in, but although I had to wait a little while for matches, I was more interested in some of the more obscure vehicles that I had unlocked but had never gotten into playing, and one of them was this little thing, the Dragoon 390. It was well, it's a glorified AFV, although technically it's classified as a tank destroyer with a, obviously, 90mm gun mounted on the top. The actual hull was used for any number of uses by the military. It was used for everything from surveillance to reconnaissance to even electronic warfare, as well as its role of carrying this 90mm gun in a turret for anti-tank work. And I believe they also had variants that were armed with anti-aircraft weaponry and or heavy machine guns. So it's quite the little workhorse. Now its problem is that it sits a little high, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. It gives it a high silhouette, so you have to be a little careful about that. But it does handle the rivers and streams on your typical armored warfare map fairly well because it has such a high clearance. And you can shoot over certain terrain obstacles that other vehicles might struggle a bit with. Now you'll notice that I'm playing fairly cautiously. Part of that is the nature of the vehicle anyway. It doesn't have really anything to speak of as far as armor is concerned. So I have to be very careful when I'm spotted like I am right now. But I'm not very comfortable when I start in the north playing the center or the western portion of the map. I'm just not as familiar with the terrain over here. So I'm trying to find some interesting spots for a tank destroyer to work its magic from. And that was extremely close. I'm glad I backed up when I did. But this is a fairly typical match in the Dragoon. It's got to play cautiously. I don't want to be the guy that is going forward while everybody else is falling back. I can't put myself directly in harm's way really at all, because I can take a couple of hits and then I'm done. The close proximity of my teammates is a blessing. It's going to keep me from getting overrun, and that's one thing you really don't want in this vehicle. It doesn't have really good gun depression, so in truth, smaller vehicles can get under my gun fairly easily, and it's a little wonky to try and drive quickly. Being a wheeled vehicle in armored warfare, its handling is a little abrupt, and that means precision handling is somewhat difficult. But I see that we're being flanked, so I'm going to move out into the stream since I can traverse it fairly easily and see if I can get any shots at the flank of these vehicles that are attempting to move by. I've been spotted, so I know I'm in trouble. Yeah, by him. So we'll take him out right off the bat. And I'm still spotted, so that means I'm within the view range of these other vehicles. And I take a huge hit there. I ventured forward too far. And he's got a friend over there now, a leopard. So I've got to back up quickly, snap a shot off. It's a little too low. And I pulled back behind cover just in the nick of time. But still, I have accomplished two things. I have made them stop their advance because now they're worried about being flanked by me. And I've picked off their reconnaissance vehicles. So a couple of pluses there. Good solid body shot in. This rock is serving me well, and I've got a good angle of fire over it. That tall silhouette, as I said, does have its advantages from time to time. If I can keep him pinned down, now he's going for it. We'll slap another very solid shot into his side. And now he's got his hands full. He's got a teammate, yeah, in the Leopard, which has moved on past my position. I need to get up in behind them. But I'm a little worried. There was another tank, yes, right over there. If I charge forward, he's going to have a clear shot at me from behind. So I have to play cautiously. I'm pinned down. He just took, I think, a huge hit, though. I'm going to see if I can cut up over the bank right here. It's awfully steep, but I might as well give it a shot. Nope. This vehicle can cover some rough terrain, but that's just a little too much for it. So we're going to take our chances and move down the river. Or creek. I guess it's not really a river. It's kind of small to call a river. Alright, now we've got a better shot at getting up on the bank here. If I can get in behind them, if nothing else, I can be a thorn in their side. My teammates are moving in to engage them from the front, and I want to give them something that they have to pay attention to their rear. I'm still watching for that tank behind me, but I don't see him. This gentleman is not happy about my presence. I've got him spotted. He's feeling threatened by my being there, and he's going to come after me. And that's okay. I managed to tag him coming around the corner. This gun, 90mm, it's pretty good. I can't complain. And that's going to pretty much wrap up this match. We've taken everyone else out. That guy's just over the ridge, and I don't quite get a shot at him. But we'll get the win. And the vehicle performed well. I only ran 4 or 5 missions in this vehicle altogether. And I think this was the first or second match that I was in. So I was still getting used to it, and it did, I thought, pretty well. Let's take a quick peek here and see what I ended up with. Looks like spotted 5 people, did some spotting damage as well, and there's the damage dealt to 2 vehicles, and I destroyed both of them. There's the spotting damage. Well, for such a quick, basic little match, well, it wasn't too bad. I can't complain. Now, this is the other side of the map. The side of the map that I'm really not familiar with or comfortable with. Starting down on the south. I have gone over to the west a few times. Didn't really find any spots over there I liked. So now I'm venturing into the really rugged territory over on the eastern side of the map. I've never been over here before, so I'm going to have to scout around and see if I can find a spot, ouch, that I can hold up in and get in some good shots. And I'm inadvertently going to end up wandering just a little bit too close to the front lines. I have managed to find a position where I feel reasonably survivable, except the enemy's trying to flank around me. I'll put a shot in from my side. Unfortunately, they are not paying too much attention to me. I'm going to get in some good damaging shots, and I'm trying to save that Zalo over there. But he's just right in their face, and there's not much that I can do to pull him out of it. There's another Dragoon over here, too, my counterpart on the team. And it's going to be up to us to face these 2 main battle tanks. We do have some support fire that will come in, which is going to give us a bit of an assistance here in just a moment. There's BMP-2 up here with us as well, running around, but he's awfully low on health. I'm going to fall back and let these 2 move on past. I want them to get around the corner so I can come behind them if at all possible. Normally, I would only engage these fellows from a distance. Being this close is really not this vehicle's strong point, but we really don't have much choice at this point. I'll move forward. And the BMP-2 is getting out of dodge. The other Dragoon is managing to bluff them, keep them from coming over the lip of a rise after him, but they're pressing him hard, and he's not going to last very long without support. Fire is coming in from our teammates that are distant. They've managed to nail one of the main battle tanks. The BMP, I think, finishes him off. But now we have a very healthy main battle tank right in front of us. And unfortunately, I am in his face. So I'm trying to maneuver around him. Again, circle strafing doesn't work very well in this wheeled vehicle. It's very abrupt in the steering. But I do manage to drive erratically enough that he gets one really good shot into me, but he's not able to bring his gun to bear effectively. I'm going to nip over the lip of this. My partner over there is now pressing him, and he's up in his face while I regroup, slam another shot in from over here. We're managing to do a lot of module damage to him, and we are whittling down his health. We get into a position where I can shoot. Good solid hit. and we're wearing him down. The other Dragoon takes a really nasty hit, and we're working on this guy as fast as we can. Keep backing up toward me. That's perfect. And we take him down. I'm not going to show you the rest of the match because it goes downhill from here, but you get the idea. It can duke it out up close as long as you can keep moving. But it's a tricky beast when it comes to precision handling. So, if you get rushed, you're not totally helpless, but you're certainly not in your element either. That's all I've got for you for right now. Just a little typical match and a little excerpt of something that's not so typical in the Dragoon on the Narrows map, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you might consider subscribing or at least giving me a thumbs up. That would be great. And until I see you guys again, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.